Pura 70 Ultra, high-end phone from Huawei brand. I usually make first impressions, and next goes very in-depth comparison videos against other high-end devices of other brands. And after that, I make final impressions video that you are watching right now. What I liked, my overall feelings. And I think that I will go straight to small individual things that I enjoyed in this phone, because it is really hard for me to get a general idea of what this phone is all about. It feels kinda strange. Design is personal taste, but I see nothing wrong in it. Even more, it looks interesting. New camera bump has a lens design with physically moving part that goes back and forth. And it does not affect handling experience. I like that it feels comfortable in the hand. Nothing hurts. All edges are round. Fast charging speeds with a charger from a box. I love that it can full itself under 50 minutes. 1.5 and 2 hours charging times are the thing of the shameful past. It has charging hard limit, so phone can never overcharge above it. I liked this feature. Hard limit can prolong battery health long term after 3-5 years of use. Operating system. It will be very mixed. Some parts I like a lot. Sounds, features. If you swipe up on an app with line underneath, it will give some quick options. Very cool. It has Super Hub feature. It is like universal clipboard, but on steroids. I love it. I liked one-hand mode. It is big step forward over default one. Operations become more easy. Audio and speakers quality. It is so cool. If we take phones like Sony, Samsung, Apple, Ultra from Vivo, Oppo and Xiaomi, they all sound for 3 stars out of 5, which is still respectable. But this phone steps up from that and I can give it solid 4 stars. Sound is loud, but open and crisp. I can hear a lot more details. Sound has echo and vibrato. I want to see no less from even a mid-range offerings. Not to tell about high-end and expensive devices. Camera hardware. It is also will be a mixed feelings. I like that it has 1 inch. No way I want the shrinkifying in this area. In ideal scenarios, with the same technology, bigger sensors will always be better. And here it has physical aperture that can be opened and closed. I like it. Ultra-wide lens is pretty wide, close to a 13mm, and I do not want ultra-wide to be anything more than 14mm. Because on wide end, even 1mm of focal length difference will give you more and more percentage of field of view for aerial shots, real estate, landscapes, and fun street portraits. Camera app. Compared to most of the other phones, it is feature-rich, and I can see lots of interesting modes and buttons. And I liked that it has small info buttons. They will give you a tip and explanation how this mode works with pictures before and after. Very user-friendly for teaching photography. It is not a worst phone for taking photos. I kinda like to use vivid color profile. It has something in its punchy look. But I think that the most impressive part in this phone is the macro ability. Not even macro, let me rephrase, micro ability. It can go so close to your object. So nice feature. It beats all phones in terms of non-crop, very close macro shots, and pure level of details. Small textures, small hairs on insect carapace, retinas of their eyes. I liked it so much that I was thinking about having this phone as a second device for macro shots. But why it did not happen in the end? Because there are lots of things that I disliked. Operating system. I used EMUI. I cannot comment on HarmonyOS, but the model I used is somewhat limited. I do not want to stay on each individual aspect of it, but will give an example. If I press and hold an app, there is no option to open apps info, and there are lots of such small little things. Not even to tell that EMUI uses Android code, But it is completely different beast, where you need to find a ways to deal with Google evil monopoly and apps. No 3.5mm audio jack, no micro SD or any new medium expansion slots, no second Thunderbolt port, no easily replaceable battery. I am tired to wonder why. Also, I noticed some battery drain. During the day, it loses charge even when I am doing nothing, and all apps are closed. Maybe it will be a deal breaker for someone. Huawei is under pretend USA sanctions, orchestrated by our shadow single world government, and it led to old processor technologies compared to modern phones. It is 3 times weaker and less powerful. Personally, for me, it does not matter that much in real life. I'm not playing cash grab pay to win garbage. And modern phones as a personal computers are not there yet. It is so more than enough for me, but I dislike that I still have to pay extra for potentially limiting experience. Maybe I can even give an example that affects even me. After you take a shot, phone can wait up to 3-5 seconds before showing you final computed results, and you feel how slow it is, and you always need to wait. Not a huge deal breaker, but I disliked it. Photo quality results. Yes, it is rated as number 1 on the DxOMark ratings, but it was so awkward for me. Overall colors are way off, especially in natural color profile. I can see pinkish magenta shifts, a lack of contrast. Something is looking very weird. And if during day I can see lack of colors in strong HDR scenes, in shadows and especially low light and at night, I noticed absence of colors. Image looks almost grayscale, black and white in some shots. Even in these macro shots, Mosquito lacks all the colors, and for some reason my eye lacks colors and contrast. In real life it is deep green, and my skin is very weird on this shot. Sometimes it gives me computational artifacts, completely drawn AI eyebrows, eyelashes and hairs, very pale white faces. White balance shifts and jumps a lot, especially it is noticeable during artificial city lights and yellow-orange lanterns. Her skin is slightly yellow and has little bit of tan, but Huawei cannot recognize it. And something is very wrong with lens coatings. I catched tons of very noticeable lens flares and light leaks. In some situations it makes shots completely unusable. I was not impressed by telephoto results. It can go very close, but zoom shots are nothing special. Images becomes mushy with AI jokes and goofings around. Video recording. About video quality, I can write entire book that will have a title: Huawei's video quality, with all pages empty and text only on the last one that says one sentence. It is bad. I can't decide how and why, and is it the worst smartphone for video recording? I have never seen such level of HDR abominations. Everything is over-sharpened and over-saturated mess. Low light brings only nightmares, and it can fight versus Sony Xperia smartphones for low light badness. Camera API, or its analogy, is completely broken. In third-party apps, nothing works, literally nothing. And changing white balance make you go straight into the matrix. Slow motion. Just why? Huawei P40 Pro had one of the best slow motion implementations that lacked only pre-record buffer time machine. What happened? Why slow motion is lacking modes, but most importantly, why it looks so awful? Tons of noise, line skipping, and bad image overall. Just pure disappointment. What I want to see in the future Huawei phones? To tell the truth, I'm not a big fan of Huawei after testing this phone, and I'm not sure if I want to test their phones in the future, but I will try to think what can be improved to change my mind. Of course, storage expansion. 3.5mm audio jack with amplifiers for microphones, external speakers and whatnot. Heck, I can even use good studio headphones with such port. Second Thunderbolt port for connectivity? Why not? Can someone tell me why not? Easily replaceable battery. Phone is high-tech device, but not a consumable that you will throw away as a e-waste in a couple of years, or a new shiny toy. First of all, of course, better OS features. Fix some small inconsistencies to something like on macOS from Honor, your own sub-brand by the way. I do not know how Google's Saga will turn out, but limitations are still limitations, no matter how it occurred, and I want it to be fixed somehow. I wish Huawei only luck and best regards to finally get a piece of alien pie from our Overlords to jump on 1nm processor technology manufacturing. Charging speeds could be slightly better. Below 30 minutes will be ideal. Photography and videography. It is really very hard to find from what even to start with. I think that they need to rethink and redo everything from ashes. I want better everything. Better colors, better contrast, better computation and algorithms. Video, I wish it was a lot better, without oversaturation, oversharpness, weird HDR effect and exposure jumping around. I want slightly better camera app. I want Ultimate Pro mode, where you can manually customize your settings to be combined with auto mode. Just make an M button for manual and A button for auto. Give me ability to tweak variable aperture, all settings and parameters like saturation, contrast, sharpness, brightness, HDR, both in RAW and Auto JPEG in one single tab. Also, I want to see second RAW option, computational RAW, like on all modern high-end devices. I want to see 10-bit computational local video recording with more advanced exposure controls, like false colors, zebras, waveforms, and ability to load in LUTs to preview your image, or even burn in LUTs. It means that settings and tweaks that you made with the LUT file are being applied on the final video, and you do not have to color grade anything on the computer. It is ready out of the box. Camera API needs to be an open bridge and gateway for developers, so we can see lots of settings in the programs like Google Cam, MC Pro 24fps and Motion Cam. I wish it was working and we can get access to better photos and videos from modders and app developers. This phone is already have slow motion options, but I wish for more slow motion options. OK to 40 frames per second, 1080p in 2000 frames per second with better image quality. Just make it in small bursts, with small crop applied. Slow motion is so cool and give you absolutely astonishing angles of view that other video recording options simply just can never give you, even remotely close, like not even a discussion how cool it is. And for some reason, I do not see good slow motion implementation on modern devices, despite it being the scene in the past. And I want to see pre-capture buffer, both on photos and videos. It means that your phone buffers the image, and when you press recording button, previous 2 or 3 seconds were recorded. It is like time machine option. And what happened from the times of your Huawei P40 Pro? Just why? I want better subject recognition and tracking for autofocus. Every modern mirrorless camera can recognize eyes, faces, people, poses, animals, insects, vehicles. And I want this inside the phone, with visible marks on the screen, to understand that it works. One more wish. I want to see burst photo mode for RAW photography. Do not make 30 or 100 bad-looking photos. I want 3 to 7 FPS, but with full computational and normal RAW shooting, with full image quality. It is already half RAW out there. It has variable aperture. And to make it possible, implement some sort of a shutter, like on Hasselblad lenses. These lenses have leaf shutter built into them. It can be more reliable than conventional mechanical shutter and solve high-speed shooting problems on smartphones. And finally, my personal wish. I want to install any operating system of my choice to the phone, with all APIs free and open for my hardware that I own, but not the company that made the phone. This is my device, not yours. I bought it, not rented it. This is unlikely in this era, but it will 100% be implemented in the future, and is already implemented in other worlds, outside of prison Earth. I just wish it come true early. So that's pretty much it. I really wanted to find only good stuff in this Pura 70 Ultra from Huawei. I cannot even understand their vision and what are their goals and final image of a phone device. Looks like they want to be as Apple inside an Android market, but still very unique. It has nice screen and very good audio speakers for music and video watching. And if they implement everything I stated above in the future, I will try and rethink how to feel about this device. I want to remind you that you are watching final review of the Huawei Pura 70 Ultra. If you want to know more about this device, you can watch initial review. It is called Huawei Pura 70 Ultra First Impressions. And large phone comparison battles with in-depth audio speakers quality examples, photo examples against high-end phones, and $1,300 conventional Sony camera with bright general zoom lens. And of course, video quality battle with DJI Osmo Pocket 3 examples. It is a full multi-series galactic saga that consists of 3 long series. Those videos are called Star Phones Episode 1, Smartphone Menace, Huawei vs iPhone vs Google, Star Phones Episode 2, Android Strikes Back, Huawei vs Google vs Honor vs Oppo vs Vivo, and finale of extensive saga with surprising results, Star Phones Episode 3, A Last Hope, Huawei vs Honor vs Vivo Ultras vs Vivo the Junior. And if you are interested in the full in-depth EMUI, operating system and camera app guide and tour, you can watch this video that is called Huawei OS Guide, OS and Camera App. Hope you enjoyed. See you in another videos. Have a very intergalactic day.